Or it's the pirate. Or should it be the pirate?
So this is the EGX 2017 Roundup Day 2.
We caught quite a few bullymongs on our travels today.
What about the Bonafartes? Oh, fuck me.
You just kind of want to go around everybody once you all get stuff off the floor. So we're just going to go around and kind of everybody pitch what your highlight of the show has been so far.
Watching the Flash run for the games. Callum Petrie as the Flash.
I don't know if that is because I'm Callum Petrie. Right, so...
Oh, sorry, I've just gave away your identity. Sorry.
Is that what?
There's lots of lights flashing, different lights.
It's the fucking airport.
Oh, so it is.
It's just a Polish rave.
What's that in the sky?
That's a plane.
Who wants to go first?
Hello, my name's Scott and I'm an alcoholic. It's been 2 minutes since I last had this week on my side.
Wow!
That's plenty. Right.
Moving on swiftly.
Quickly, yeah, take that off him. I would say my most impressive game of the show so far has been Detroit Become Human.
How come? Or why?
It's probably one of the
Did
few...
my wife teach you nothing?
No! Stop me bugging out!
Sorry, Ross.
It's alright. I would say it's probably the most different game at the show this year. Everything else is either an action-adventure game or a platforming game or a shooter.
Or Nintendo.
Or everything Nintendo, yeah. I would say Detroit Become Human is something that feels utterly unique. And that is telling a great story with a presentation that is really film-like.
As unique as the last Quantic Dreams game was.
Okay.
Okay. And it's got multiple kind of pathways and outcomes to it, which for me it felt incredibly riveting all the way through.
It's a beautiful looking game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it's the multiple different endings to each story. Because it's not like Callum will play, you've got a completely different ending to you.
Yeah.
So...
Very much so, because myself, Callum, and Drew all played it, and we all got the kind of the ending, which was all kind of different, which is quite impressive as well. So I'd like to see how that's going to be expanded for across the full game. I think it's going to be quite impressive.
Callum?
Yes.
Same question.
Moon River.
Sounds like that fucking one old fashioned microphones. Yeah. I feel I've actually not played many games this year, but it's got to be Shadow of War for me, I think, so far.
Well, you did queue for 2 hours for Destiny 2, but it's still
I know. Queued for 2 hours for a bloody t-shirt that doesn't even fucking fit me. But,
this is going to be out with an 18 rating on it,
Yes.
isn't it?
So it's YouTube, I don't care.
I'll tell you, we can just go beep, beep.
I think
That
Shadow of War.
Just be however long this is. I'm just...
Shadow of War was brilliant.
It was, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. What was it about it specifically that you really liked?
It's probably getting lost, not being able to figure out what was to do next, and not knowing how to bring a Caragor in because I forgot everything. But no, there just seems to be so much more in it than the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you all play the first one? Yeah.
I mean, a cool thing of the first one was the personality that they brought to the orcs and the Urukai.
Oh, I loved
And
it.
when the camera zooms right in and you've got the name pop up of the orc
Yeah.
that is like targeting and like heckling you, there's like that extra level of detail that they've added to this
And the
one.
Nemesis thing.
The Nemesis,
The Nemesis
as well,
thing
yeah.
is
Why are
brilliant.
they always
from the same part of England?
I was going to say, it's getting a lot of British voice actors, a lot of work for these games.
Yeah.
But it is...
Down here speaking to me now.
When we first played it on Thursday, and I came away waxing lyrical about how amazing it was, because I spent the whole of the 20 minutes taking on a big motherfucker of an orc who was like double the size of the others, to the point that I finally managed to, just about before the end of my play session, I managed to wear him down and turn him to my side, and then another one of the large orcs came in and he just battered 10 shades of shit out of him, and it was so satisfying seeing that, you know. And I think the Nemesis system is something that Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, and then Shadow of War is obviously taken to the next level. It's just something that really works well with that game, and it's a great hook. It's a great hook, and the game looks stunning as well. I mean, we played it on the Xbox One X at the Xbox stand this weekend, and the graphics look uber sharp. And I got to fly a dragon.
I think for this second one as well, it's the fact that you can build yourself an army.
Yeah.
Of the orcs, can't you? And, and you can storm the bases with your
There's all
army.
different modes as well.
Aye.
You've got siege mode, you've got the Wraith. Flying the Wraith was fun, I have to say.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
See, I never bloody
You're not
done
talking
it. I
about
never
Halo?
noticed that, but
I laughed.
Disclaimer: Scott's about to get his head kicked in right.
I thought Wraiths.
Man
found buried underneath Birmingham.
I have been sent to the naughty corner.
But Flying the Wraith was a great touch to it because you've to, again, all different moves, especially the siege mode as well, which was really, really good. But you had to free the other Wraiths and stuff like that, which was really good as well.
Yeah.
So it's loads to do. So it's not just like story driven.
Yeah.
It's got to be an element of multiplayer in it somewhere. Definitely. Shadow of War will be interesting.
Any surprises, Mr. Wilson, so far that you've played?
Bomber Crew. I must admit, I really enjoyed that wee game.
Well, that's the thing.
I didn't think I was going to like it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's the
didn't
thing,
think
there's-
because it was a PC. I thought,
the indie games this year have been really well represented with a lot of things that we had no idea were either in development or even getting a publishing deal of any kind. What's great about Bomber Crew is that it's single player only, but you're basically, it's almost like a little bit of an RTS style of thing where you command the crew members of this bomber, Lancaster bomber, and you have different missions of bombing runs, spy kind of missions where you have to take photographs of different areas of the enemy territory, and
Scott's doing that. That's why Drew's sniggering in the background.
I'm always sniggering in the background.
Right, sorry, Ross.
I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the.
You were saying about the crew.
Bomber Crew,
Yes,
RTS.
yeah. So if the engines take a hit or some kind of damage, then you have to assign the engineer to fix them. Meanwhile, the pilot's trying to obviously hold the plane steady, and you
Unless-
point and click. And
unless
click
you
on
assign
these
the
guys.
Sign the pilot, yeah.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And you crash.
And it was very interesting and very compulsive and addictive.
It was.
And Callum could have probably stayed there all day.
Yeah.
playing.
We had to drive out.
It's
We
really
did
good.
have to drive Callum. We actually go and play Strange Brigade.
But again, at that point, I really liked the animation style and the graphics that were very. They kind of called to mind your kind of cannon fodder style. I know that's like Sensi's way back. Sensible Software was way back in the mist of time, but that kind of slightly cartoonish. You know what I mean? Kind of caricatures of these army dudes. Army dudes. I really call them army dudes. They're flying a plane. Was really, really nice. Thank you, Drew. Pilots. But it was a really, really nice feel to it, especially when the German pilot started trying to take you down, Callum. You're trying to land the plane, and this German guy's trying to come around. So it was very good.
It
Very
damaged
nice.
my landing gear, so I had to get that repaired, and that was when Paul yanked me out the cockpit and dragged me off
Wow!
We did this, what it felt like.
New levels
Yanked
of
me out
realism.
my plane.
Well, can I just say, that's what happens when you don't stick to the schedule with somewhere else to be.
Well, I didn't know. I
Unfortunately,
was enjoying my game, but then on saying it, though, was it Strange Brigade?
Yeah.
That was a
That was
Yeah, I
really
mean,
good.
wasn't it? That was a kind of bit of a.
So that's the
a
new
surprise.
title from Rebellion Studios, those who did Sniper Elite 4, which came out earlier this year, and that was EGX last year.
Well,
A wonderful bit of 1910, 1920 British. Ha Brilliantness, it was great.
Yeah.
I went round twice.
you're going to start the pirates. You're
That was
going to do it.
There was a distinct difference between ha ha and
Arr! It sounded very similar.
Right, so Drew, moving on.
You know what I'm going to
This
do?
is just going to be a Warhammer.
Right, so same question to you. What's been kind of your highlight?
Well, I went there looking forward to playing Total War Warhammer 2, which played, thought it was brilliant, but for me, it's Sea of Thieves. Fantastic.
Is that because of the game, or is that just because of the laugh he's had?
I don't know, it had some sort of strange something came over me. I don't know. Like a mermaid's tear. Unbelievable.
We went up with a swarthy bunch of landlubbers and we took on the gold for ourselves.
If you're the problem talking about Sea of Thieves again.
We found the treasure of Cortez himself.
Right, let's move on to the person we've not even heard from yet. Mr. Marley.
Yes. No, see, I've lost my voice now.
Well, what was your
Favourite games? So go with Callum, Strange Brigade, definitely. Good fun co-op on that. Shadow of War, I'll go back on that one as well. Never played the first one. The second one, good old fun, slashing, killing.
Over to the Golden Age Flash. What's happening?
I'm from Earth 2, thank you very much.
Touche.
Games so far, I have to go with Assassin's Creed Origins. Really have overhauled the combat system of it, which isn't what we're all used to with the counters and stuff like that, so it's going to take a bit of getting used to.
Sorry Paul for interrupting, is the Assassin's Creed Origins combat more like a Mad Max Batman type kind of combat?
No.
Or no, it's not.
There's a lot. I would say there's a lot more to it this time.
Right.
I haven't really got to grips fully with it because the demo is very limited. But even better to see the 4K update for the Xbox One X. But another surprise game for me of just how lethal it is and how difficult. Cuphead.
Cuphead was brutal.
I mean,
That was a platforming shooter which was just insanely difficult. Mental levels, mental baddies.
It was the way it's all about the look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's that old. It's like that old, very old Disney type of cartoon short thing.
I played it last year, and the difference between last year's version and this year's version is a complete overhaul.
And of course, I thought Far Cry 5 was really good.
I loved it. I liked it.
But then, as you said, Paul, you know, it's like the sort of AAA titles where I kind of go without being said, really, that they're going to be good. It's just whether your preference, whether you like it or not. But
I'm happy.
The likes of that and the new Call of Duty. Did you get to play that?
No, yet.
No, yet. It's really good. I thought it was really good, but hey, it's Call of Duty, and isn't it? They're all going to be good.
Quickly moving on.
Is it my turn?
Yes,
do I get to speak now?
No. Okay, yes, on you go.
It's like, and that's the time up. Thank you very much. Oh, bugger.
Good question.
The game so far that I've enjoyed the most. Shadow of War was impressive. It was the first game we played. Callum's already kind of covered a lot of that kind of stuff there. I was very surprised with Call of Duty. The setting's great. The graphics look stunning. It could make me consider buying COD.
Plenty from you.
Strange Brigade is a lot of fun.
Amazing.
I'm not quite sure how much fun Strange Brigade would be solo, but co-op is a lot of fun.
That Strange Brigade, is it going to be the kind of Evolve thing?
Yes,
Where we play it at the expo and we think, wow, this is going to be amazing. 4 against a monster, 5 is cannot play. This is going to be great.
See, that was the thing. I think it sucked in because I thought Evolve looked shit from the beginning. Yes.
I loved it.
We loved it.
I loved the demo.
We all played it at EGX, didn't we?
I played the monster. I fucking ate you all.
Oh no, mate, we nearly got you, but we come out actually all going, that was brilliant. You know, that's going to be a great game, and we all get it. We can all play together. We all take turns of the monster. But I think, that Strange Brigade be like that.
I think the difference with Strange Brigade is that it's got much more of a Left 4 Dead type kind of feel.
Yeah.
In that you don't have somebody playing, you don't have one person playing the enemy like one big monster. I'm like, it's like the four of you coming together against a swarm. It's like a horde. It's like an ongoing horde mode, really, which is what Left 4 Dead was, wasn't it? You know, Strange Brigade was good, but I mean, in terms of the indie titles, I have to say, we had a lot of fun with Apex Racing. I had a lot of fun in particular because I broke the game in my first go. I broke it in my first go.
Send them back 12 months.
Especially with the dev looking on, the guy that created the game looking on going, it's never done this before, I'm afraid you've broken it. Which is good, you know, because that's kind of partly what some of these games are like. But listen, I know it's very basic, but it's an indie title. And I think the handling, while very light, was actually, it made me think of, you know, the old arcade game Virtua Racer. It touches of Daytona in there, and they've still got weapons to add into the game apparently as well, which is just going to be nuts. So I think, you know, as an indie title, if it's priced at like a £10-15 mark, I think you'll find an audience there. So Mr. Peachy, what about you? What's been your highlight so far?
Yes, it's about time we get turned in, isn't it?
Don't know, I've not been there. No, right. For all that Shadow of War was very impressive, like the guy behind me was kind of telling me the instruction. I never played Shadow of Mordor, so he was kind of giving me a heads up. He threw me into a siege, which I had no clue what I was doing, so I hadn't killed anything to date.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah,
That's
pretty-
heavy going.
He threw me in at the deep end, and he was a bar steward.
Meanwhile, I sat next to him laughing my head off. 'Cause I'm like, I'm just going to go the Wraith and I'm going to flip and believe fire and everything. The hell with it. And he's like, the guy's helping me talk Callum through everything.
I should have just done what Drew done. It was, have you played this before? Aye, leave me alone. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I enjoyed Detroit. Enjoyed that a lot. I'm quite a fan of it. Heavy Rain and Fahrenheit. Love Fahrenheit. Then South Park, Fractured But Whole.
That
was
Wow.
I can't even talk about that. That's just
Disturbing.
you have to play it to believe it. So
What difficulty did you go on? That's the real question.
I don't think it actually
That was the
mattered.
hardest difficulty.
I see.
Which could be
For any listeners that have done their research, you'll know exactly what
Yes.
Drew's character will look like.
Yes, let's dance around the whole.
So,
Just to
basically-
make sure everything's okay.
Right. So for sheer kind of. Game that I would buy in the future and I would play with my friends is definitely Sea of Thieves. So, like, I know we've went on about it all night, and I know that some of us are going to go play it tomorrow. It's a game I've been excited about for a while, and it's definitely one that I'm going to my way to purchase, because the actual amount of teamwork you have to put into making your shit go, and Scott's dying in the corner, the amount of work that you have to put into actually being a crew. It's not just like a gimmick. It's
We had to really
You really have to do it.
And
You
it's
do?
not like
But
a
it doesn't work.
unless you get those fishnet sails that just don't exist.
fishnet. No, I don't even want to go there. No.
Because they would catch the wind.
Catch something else.
Yeah, so Sea of Thieves, that's where I'm putting my hat in just now. So there's still 2 days to go. I know some of these are only staying tomorrow and then going up the road.
Well, I was going to say, leading in maybe, I suppose the thing to round up this chat is what's everybody's thoughts been about EGX this year? This is the 10th year. This is supposed to be the 10th year, something big. What's everybody's thoughts been on it? You know, have you enjoyed it so far? Have you not? Have you?
Go back around in reverse then and start with you, since you asked the question.
I've been disappointed. I think, and I know I've been disappointed, and I know they can't really do much because they can only show the games that are available to play. But it's been flat for me. It's been flat this year. It's been really flat. Things, I don't know. It feels like a lot of empty space around about EGX this year. Maybe that's just because there's not as many games around. I don't know. For me, there's been better, and I think we've now spent as a gamertag crew. We've had 3 years in London. We have 3 years in Birmingham, and I miss London. I miss London. Earls Court was great. There's no lot we can do about it. You know, NEC's where it's at these days, but you know, for me, I'd love it to be back in London again. But yeah, mixed bag. I think, Callum. Yeah, I think it's fair to say there's great games here, but there's not enough great games for me. I think. So.
Okay, right.
I mean, I've enjoyed the games that I've played across Xbox and PlayStation and even the indies, but Scott's right. It does seem rather flat this year. It's not got the same buzz about it, or even between stands. I mean, PlayStation are trying. They're still doing swag giveaways, stuff like that. They're still entertaining a crowd. They've got a stage presence, whereas Xbox doesn't. All Xbox got is a raffle system, which seems to attract 40 people who go around 20 times a day.
Like who?
You.
Me? Oh.
Well, I have won 2 games. Give me a piece. But it does seem tomorrow will be the decider. Saturday's going to be is historically always the busiest day. So that will be the decider. Like I say, it just seems a wee bit in the flat side compared to previous years. Yeah. Marley?
See, I'll echo the exact same. Again, bit flat. Stage presence, let's say, PlayStation still had the stage shows. Xbox missed that a couple of years ago when they had the stage and they had all the devs on talking and that pulled in a lot of crowds.
Yeah.
This year, something was missing. Can't put my thumb on it. Don't know if it's just too much area, too much walkway around about things, but it just felt flat, too much space. But
I mean,
tomorrow will be the decider.
Marlon and I were talking about it today when we, like yesterday, first day. You said it yourself, Callum. We very rarely left the same area.
Stayed in
We
Xbox.
seem
The,
to have,
the two big companies are across from each other.
So you tended to go from Xbox, Ubisoft, PlayStation. You never really went any further, and it was very. But today, I actually ventured further afield. I went up to the back end and had a look around rather than going round the swag thing at Xbox about 40 times. It was a good laugh. I mean, the guys at Xbox did
They
keep
take
it going.
I know that's.
Guys sitting there going, do you want some swag?
Swag.
EGX swag. You've won a game. You've won a controller. You've won an Xbox One S. They are giving away good stuff. I mean, like today I got Halo Wars 2 and I got Rear Replay, which I've swapped Halo Wars 2 for Recore with 2. Note to self, get.
That's what he thinks.
That's on record. He's like, it's on record. I'll make sure it's on
At this point, he's not getting out of the room with Halo Wars 2 in his pocket. So they are giving away a shed load of stuff. Something.
I'm glad to see the presence back this year.
It was missed last year.
Last year the presence was
Gears of War 4.
It was, and it was like 64 consoles playing Gears of War 4, and that was behind the 18 plus area.
Yeah.
But that's no use to it.
Yeah. A lot of them were on PC as well.
Was Titanfall on PlayStation, wasn't it?
Titanfall was
No.
an 18 plus section, but it was just at the back itself.
No, it was
I
on.
was that on PlayStation. It was on Xbox. It was on
PlayStation.
PlayStation, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of them were on PCs, but a lot of them were on PlayStation as well.
But the ones we played were on PC with Xbox controllers.
They're usually always PCs with Xbox controllers, unless it's a specific Xbox game.
That's the reason I played it so well. Xbox controller.
Back to Mr. Marley. Where will you finish your point?
That was my finishing point.
I'll finish the forum.
So we pass over to Drew then, because this is Drew's first year.
No point asking me. First year here, and I thought it was bloody brilliant. I spent the last 2 days walking about going, wow, stuff! And it's been amazing. So, no point talking to me.
No, and I totally get that because EGX is fat. I mean, that's why we're here for our 6th year, right? We come back every year because it goes beyond it goes beyond the games. You know, we've made a lot of friends over the past 6 years.
It becomes the community.
It becomes a community, you know, and like that. The first year you go down. I mean, the first year we went down, it was. Let me think. It was Halo
2012.
4. Was it? That was before the Xbox One and the PS4 were released. But you were like Dying Light. You were Halo 4. You were, and it was just.
Dead Island 2.
Dead Island 2.
Never
You know,
played
that
it.
kind of stuff. It was. You know, as you say, Drew. It's. You're like, oh my god, I'm in a hall filled full of games that I've not even had a chance to play it. It's amazing. It is amazing. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we're a bit jaded from 6 years from it. I don't know. But it's exciting.
Yeah, I agree with everybody as well. The fact that it was a bit flat this year. But I think, as you said, Watson, that comes from the fact that we've been there for 5-6 years now. And especially Earls Co-op London. That was just superb.
For you, that
Golden Dragon.
For us, yeah. but then I suppose you're then going into the surrounding pubs and clubs and areas and stuff rather than focusing on the expo. But I suppose, as you say, well, it all depends upon the games that's coming out this year. And obviously the organisers kind of do it about the fact that there's maybe not some great games and top, notch AAA titles. But was this the third year No, is this the second or third year I've been here?
This is the second
Second
year.
I've been here.
This is the second year, yeah.
And I did find, compared to the other year, that there was, as you said, Marley, a lot of open spaces. And I can remember the last time it was here, getting really fed up, trying to get somewhere and constantly having to dodge folk and move out the way. Well, yeah, as we've said here as well. But to be honest, I can remember that, last year with the Friday as well. The Saturday not being that noticeable busier than the Friday, because the Friday was a lot busier than the Thursday. But the other thing I've noticed as well, there's a right shortage of loot giveaway.
No, not that we're greedy, but yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the other year, you're going to games and you get there's t-shirts just sitting in the chair for you. You go to the door, you pick up a pin badge, you pick up a poster, you get a hat, whatever.
It's funny, I'm coming from the bit, I'm walking about going, look at all this stuff! I've got so much stuff! A button? Wow! No!
Do you see the other years? But
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
But that is the thing. That's the difference between a person's first time and a
Yep.
person's
Aye.
sixth time, aye, whatever, yeah, aye. And honestly,
I've
see
got
the
a
other
hoodie, I
years,
can't wear it, but I've got
you
one.
would have been getting, you'd have been getting like a t-shirt just about every game you went. And that's the other thing. You get a choice. What size do you want? And all these people are going, oh, there's a medium. We've only got one size. Medium? What the size of me? What the fuck's a medium going to fit me?
If you looked at your average gamer,
Exactly. Callum, that's what I said as
We had
well.
a conversation at lunchtime today saying, you know, they're saying we've only got mediums or smalls. You're like, have you looked at the folk
Average
that come
gamer?
around here?
No, you're not an average gamer, no.
You're smarter than the average gamer.
This is an average gamer.
You're the average.
Put it away! Put it away!
Leon's
But-
getting larger.
Yeah. To me, it was a bit flat. I've enjoyed it, but you know what, boys? Company makes it all.
Yeah,
Very much.
Good company, good laugh, good.
Yeah.
Made some new friends.
I love you, man, by the way. If you love you.
is that my Pringles?
Packet of crisps. He was out with a packet of crisps to cheers. Well, first of all, it was. Right, Malik, come on, I missed you. Right, you may as well do it. Ross, I'm going to get you out, mate.
Fist bump goals in my bed.
But yeah, a wee bit flat this year again. Just big empty spaces and.
Feeling jaded.
Aye, yeah. I don't know if that's just because it's 6 years doing it.
Yeah,
Be positive.
probably. No, I mean, overall, yeah, I would agree with the kind of the flat opinion, but I think that's mostly because there wasn't a clear showstopper game that everybody said that blew me away. There's been lots of games, great games actually, you know, Assassin's Creed, Detroit, Shadow of War, they're all excellent games, but there wasn't one clear game of show, like event type of game, I think. But hold on. But I think what made this year's EGX actually really good for me is because there was 3 games which I wasn't expecting to be playable, and that they were playable, and that's Monster Hunter Ultimate, Ni no Kuni 2, and Detroit Become Human. I wasn't expecting them to be here, and they were actually playable as well, and they were really, really good. So the fact that they were there, as well as having Nintendo back at the show, because they haven't been at an EGX for a long time, really.
Since London.
They had a lot of stuff.
They had a big presence this year.
Well, they're not here the first year at Birmingham.
No,
They
did
did
I
have.
don't think they were.
I'm sure they were there with Super Mario Maker.
Not much so.
Not much. They did have a presence, but it wasn't as big as it is this year.
Yeah.
This is more like when it was back in London.
Yeah. Bear in
Yes.
mind that they have partnered with Ubisoft,
Yeah, because
so the
Exactly.
presence is massive.
My presence is massive this year, so it's great having them back. So, I mean, overall, I've had a great EGX because we've actually got to play a hell of a lot more than I was expecting. I was mostly expecting just to get hands on with Battlefront 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, and mostly just Shadow of War, which were going to be my main 3 to go for. I've never really been much of a Call of Duty guy anyway, so I wasn't that particularly fussed about that. But the fact I got to finally play Detroit Become Human, which nobody thought was going to be on the cards. I mean, it's definitely not coming out this year, but it'll be some point next year. But the fact that they even got a playable version of it for people to at least try out and see what it's like was impressive. And Ni no Kuni is just absolutely stunning. I mean, anybody who's a Studio Ghibli fan, this is just that in an interactive form, even more so than the first Ni no Kuni, which is just amazing. And Monster Hunter is finally coming to the home consoles. It's always been a 3DS title. And that's really quite interesting as well and pretty cool. 2 big Bethesda titles which are not here. Bethesda didn't have much of a presence at all.
No.
They had Skyrim VR and Skyrim on the Switch, but they didn't really have many other
there's
tires.
Games already ongoing, isn't there?
Yeah,
game.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's it. Whereas I was really looking forward to getting a hands on with Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, because when we've got to play the first one a few years ago at EGX, we were totally surprised by it and thought this is amazing. And so I was really looking forward to that.
Hound.
Yeah.
And it wasn't here, which is really disappointing. And I was expecting Evil Within 2 to make an appearance here as well. But again, it wasn't. But that comes down to what Scott was saying, it's all about what the organisers can arrange with the publishers to actually get at the show, which is a little bit disappointing for some titles. But when you actually go through the list of the games that were there is a lot of fantastic games there. But for some reason, we're still feeling it's a bit flat.
That's a Peachy, what about you?
Yes.
Do you think this year's EGX?
And see, before you do, Cam, question is, how many times you beat EGX?
This is my 4th year at EGX. Right, so if you are like the veterans and Drew's like the novice, I'm like intermediate. Right, so I only went to like 2 days at Earl's Court first year, so technically it's 3 years I've been to EGX. 2, 3 now. the show's only as good as the game's coming out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I've kind of thought overall the big games have kind of been a steady kind of good mix.
Yeah.
Like I've played South Park, I've played Far Cry, I've played Forza, I've played Shadow of War, I've played Detroit. Like that's it. Most of that was today. Like, it's
That's because you get a press pass, you bam.
yeah. As a member of the press, I found this is like the best. No, but it's you come to these games like if I'm coming as part of the press, I'm coming to cover and I want to play as much as I can. Other years I've not been able to do that, so this year's been, for all the lack of merchandise stalls, like big massive open areas where last year you had like high end gaming inspired clothing lines. You had, thank God they get rid of those like £50 loot boxes though, because they're just stupid.
Oh, they're still there.
There's still a whole hall that I've not been into.
Was it Merchant Monkey that were doing them at different price bands?
I was trying to explain it. I don't. Yeah, no, I was going to say.
There's not masses of like the merchandise and stuff, but the quality of games I thought has been a good mix, and I've enjoyed what I've played. No, it's not as busy as previous years, but is that necessarily a bad thing when you're trying to queue for games and stuff?
Drew is a beacon of positivity because it's his first year here, you know, and it's probably only fitting that we finish on Drew's thoughts on how EGX has been, you know, and whether he would come back next year, I suppose.
Definitely.
So overall, I've enjoyed myself. Today's personally has been one of the best days at EGX ever for me, but that's because I've played more games than I have in probably any other EGX. But like over the 4 days, I've played more than like one day. Yeah, the press pass is worth more, and if I'm here covering things, I'm here supposed to be working, then yes, I found today's been a lot better. Ubisoft have been overly generous with the press pass. Looking forward, like I've not hit many indies yet, that's my main point. Right, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. Do you just want to kind of, I'll go around, your name, Twitter handle if you've got one,
Serial number.
and one surprising game of the show. Right, one surprise.
Oh, well, this is Ross at It's Me Ross P, and I'm going to go with Detroit.
Callum Wilson signing off. And I think for me it's got to be Strange Brigade.
Drew Young here and I agree. Strange Brigade, definitely.
Great Scott underscore TT, Strange Brigade.
Never heard it.
Paul Lithgow, Falcon Foxfire, and I'll go with Assassin's Creed Origins.
Scotty, gamer tagged at Scowat at GTagged. I would say the biggest surprise for me this EGX has been Call of Duty.
Since we're not ending in a controversial note.
That bombshell.
So I'm Callum Petrie at Citri, and I'm going to end with you know, it's like Petrie but we see at the beginning.
Petri, as we say it. Petri.
You're an arsehole. And I'm going to go with Strange Brigade. Thanks very much for listening, and maybe join us again soon.